What up, everybody? This is yours truly, Rama Screen, covering movies, TV, and entertainment. What up, YouTube Live? Right now is Monday. Sorry, there are flies everywhere today, man. It's like a freaking fly just snuck into my room and has been bothering me since, at least for the past couple of hours. But I'll swat it later. Right now is Monday, August 19th, 2019. See? You see that fly? Do you see him? Dang, dude. It's even on the microphone now. Um, you know what? If I get it to stand just right still, and I'll be like, pow. Okay. I'll be heading out back to LA this evening to screen that Gerard Butler's new movie, Angel Has Fallen. The review embargo lives on Wednesday, so tonight I'll be screening the film, and then I'll give you the review on Wednesday. And what else? Oh, on Thursday, I'm also giving you my review of freaking fly of a brand new awesome series. I can't tell you much about it just yet, okay? Because my lips are sealed. I promised them, not to say much other than that I'm under review embargo. So you have that to anticipate. Wednesday and Thursday. Tomorrow I won't be posting any video. Tomorrow I'll be busy preparing those videos for you. But right now, before I'm driving back to LA, I just want to give you my thoughts about Pennyworth's. Ooh, excuse me. Epix series Pennyworth, season 1, episodes 4 and 5. I missed out on last week, which was episode 4, and yesterday episode 5. So I figured I'll just combine the two. And so heads up, this video is mainly for those of you, my fellow Pennyworth fans, who've also watched the episodes. All right, spoiler alert. And let me just start by saying, wow, I had no idea. Let me rephrase that. I did not expect these episodes to be that depressing. They were such downers, man. I mean, right off the bat, holy crap. Let me just say by stating the fact that, my God, they killed off Esme. That is some bold move on the show's part. I was like, whoa, wow. They killed off there you go. I see the fly. But then if I knock out the microphone would be broken. You know what? I gotta wait till the fly. There you go. Till the fly actually hits the table. Nope. Now this whole video is gonna be about me trying to kill a fly instead of me talking about Pennyworth. Where is my fly swatter anyway? I don't want to use my hand. Well, it's right. There you go. That's my failed attempt at killing a fly. So yeah, holy crap, they killed Esme. Wow, I did not see that coming. Pretty ballsy on the part of the show, the writers and the showrunners, like, whoa, Danny Cannon, Bruno Hella, really? But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. Let's pull back to episode 4. On episode 4, basically what happened was Martha Kane, who was a big part of episode 3. Martha Kane came back again. Once again, hired Alfred to do this job to accompany her to visit this small town in England. And her mission, because she's part of the No Name League, they assign her to find out the name of the leader of their rival, which is the Raven Society. I know. It's a lot to keep track, man. It's so much easier when it was just like with Gotham. It's like the Court of Owl. That's the Batman's Batman mythology's famous Mason Society-esque kind of group. Here we have the No Name League. We have the Raven Society, and God knows what else that's gonna come up down the road. So they went to this town, And at the diner, they because the guy that they're supposed to be in contact with at the train station got killed by who knows. That's the mystery. And so they got into this diner that bears the same coincidental name as, because the guy that got killed in the subway train, or not subway, the metro train, he said the word he said the word the darkness. Um, so suspicious because the restaurant's name is the darkness, and also the owner, this old lady, was also acting suspicious. And long story short, there's an altercation between Alfred and this lady, and the lady got shot, like bam, big hole right in the chest, and she died, of course. And this altercation, I gotta say, man, I tried, kind of replaying that part again and again. It's like trying to figure out, was there a way mm, that accidental murder could have been prevented? Like, if only maybe Alfred held the gun in a certain way, or the shotgun, I should say, in that it so that it would not be pointing at her. I don't know, but it all happened so fast. Maybe that's the idea. Kind of like in the previous episode. Remember that one with Dave Boy and what's his name? The other friend, Bazaz, I believe. Let me double check here. Well, anyway, Dave Boy um had this mental breakdown during a poker game, and then he like, okay, I'm sorry, here's your gun back, and he threw the gun at this guy who owned the gun, and it was thrown in such a way that he couldn't catch it correctly, so he ended up shooting himself in the face. I was like, whoa. um Buzza, there you go. So I think that's what the whole sequence with that lady in the diner was. It's like it just happened so fast. I'm sure Alfred, if he had time to think about, you know, if he had time even for a split second to think about how to counter that, how to counter her move, he probably would have done it differently. But it was just like really quick, and I think it was a matter of him trying to get the shotgun away from Martha Kane, because the lady was like holding it, at her direction, at Martha's direction. So, but yeah, that was just like, whoa. And I think that is years from now, even if Pennyworth ended its run, or maybe if Pennyworth did not get renewed for whatever reason, years from now, one of the things that people will remember about this show is the many instances that are like that, the sequences where characters get killed, or accidentally murdered, whatever, in such a swift, um shocking and bloody way. The guy at the poker table, the lady at the diner, and there's some other instances as well, I think, in the previous episodes, or the early on episodes. And I don't think this is gonna be the last of it. Just like in the yesterday's episode, um Alfred Pennyworth with a shotgun kills a guy, bam, shot right in the bloody face. And because this is like a freaking TVMA, it's not, Epix, they show everything. And so you see like half of his face is totally missing. Just you only, what's left is like the lining of his teeth, and the lower bottom of his jaw is just so gnarly. So that's another example. And so years from now, people will remember that as a significant or memorable trait or characteristic of this show. If they can't remember everything else, they will remember all the shock the shock values that come in each episode. Um, but moving on, one the reason why I enjoyed episode 4, the title is Lady Penelope, by the way, um, is that the whole town seems to be in on it. It's like one of those Stepford Wives. Remember Stepford Wives, where the whole community or the whole neighborhood seem to be not who they are. Nothing appears to be what they look. It's like, whoa. In this case, it's like the whole town is like part of the Raven Society. But they behave like normal people would. Like the town would have cops, the town would have mayors, the town would have governors, but they're all in on it. So that's why I use Stepford Wives as an example. Also, kind of like Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of thing. So I like that. I enjoy that. Of course, in addition to the whole altercation with the lady in the diner, uh, the leader of the Raven Society turns out is the same doctor who was trying to heal Martha Kane after she got injured, and her name is Mrs. Gaunt, I believe. Uh, and I love the whole sequence as well in Mrs. Gaunt's living room when the tables are turned, because at one point Martha Kane, you know and Alfred are the hostages, but then swiftly they turn the tables, like they turn the situation around, and then they get the upper hand. And I think Martha Kane said that she had some training with some military training. I don't know. I don't remember the exact words, so don't go to the bank with that. You have to rewatch the episode again. Um, but that's the cue that Pennyworth gave to Martha Kane, and Martha's like, "Oh, I got that clue," and they work together like that very swiftly. Um, the way the episode ended, I did not like that. The whole thing with Alfred, you know, connecting with Martha Kane to the point where they kiss. I don't know, man. That's obviously that's very Hollywood. That's very generic. You would expect that to happen in a movie or TV show where two characters, if you leave them in a room long enough, that they would start to kiss or even further. It's a very Hollywood thing. In real life, it never happened to me. I don't know if it happens to you, but I've shared heart to heart talk with a woman that's just my friend, not my girlfriend or anything like that, nothing romantic. And we spent like the night just talking and sharing, and it did not end up with us sleeping together or like having a kiss. So but they wanna add that in, because what comes after that, immediately after that, is they kill off Esme. So it it's like, it really, the story wants to dig some guilt into Alfred. I wasn't there. And to make things worse, you know, it's bad enough that I wasn't there for my fiance Esme, but to make things worse, I was with another woman. Um, and yeah, that's pretty bad. And that's where the depressing part comes in. Episode 5, especially when he starts seeing ghosts. I was like, whoa, where are we going with this? Holy crap. He's seeing his ghost friend from the war, and then he also sees a ghost um of the old lady that he killed in the diner. At one point, the lady even said, like, "Oh, you want me to bring Esme as well?" I was like, "No, no, 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 no." That would not be kosher to his mental health. Um, so episode 5, we see Alfred hitting rock bottom, and you know, I gotta give again, as I said mentioned earlier, I gotta give the writers and the showrunner of this show lots of credit for being ballsy enough to take the leading female out, Esme, out of the show so early on in the game. Um, and if you think about it, it kind of makes sense, because this is not, the same guys who made the same guys who make Pennyworth are the same guys who made Gotham, Bruno and Danny Cannon. But this is Epix, all right? This is Epix. This is not Fox Network, all right? This is not some regular broadcasting network. So the limits and the boundaries are much more lenient in terms of violence, graphic violence, brutality, sexuality, nudity, coarse language, and also it's a long story form as opposed to procedural. Um, and so it kind of makes sense that they take out Esme, to so as to put um, another emotional impact on the evolution of the character Pennyworth. You see where I'm getting at? Um, so it's like throwing a wrench, throwing a curveball, so to speak. Um, and then we get to see whether or not Alfred will sink or swim, whether or not his character will grow. There has to be this sort of bump, if you will, on the road for him, and it makes sense that Alfred for the first half of the episode 5 that he is just down, just moping around. I mean, the actor Jack Bannon, because when he has his hair slicked back and oiled up, with his suit on as this bouncer, you know, handing cards like, "Oh, hire me as your security, Pennyworth security." When he's looking like that, you know, he looks so upstanding, and respectable. But when he is like just moping around, with his robe and his hair down, I was like, man, Jack Bannon looks so much younger. It's amazing how he can make himself look so differently, like a DH kind of thing, just by not wearing suit on or not slicking your hair back. Not a lot of people can pull that off. I kid you not. When in episode 5, when Alfred opens the door for John Ripper, because John Ripper comes to see how Alfred's doing, whether he's still grieving or whatnot. Anyway, John comes into the house. Alfred greets him, and Alfred looks like a 18-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old. Nothing, nothing close to like this Alfred that we saw in the previous episodes, where he looks like in his mid-20s, all clean, sharp, and pretty certain about his future. But yeah, once Esme gets killed, it's understandable because that's basically Alfred's future. Remember, in previous episodes, Alfred is the kind of guy who may not have necessarily the same, or what I'm trying to say is that Alfred may not necessarily have a long vision as to like, oh, where we're going to be 20, 30 years from now. But for sure, he's the kind of guy who wants to have, your usual regular plan kind of guy. Have a house, have a wife, have a few kids, picket fences with a yard, a job or like his own business, so he won't have to answer to anybody else. That's his dream. So that much he did have, and he had it with Esme in the equation. So Esme gets killed, that future, you know, what he had in mind, what he had planned, maybe not 23, 30 years from now, but for that period of time, is shattered. It's just like it's gone. Like, what am I now? So it's totally understandable. And it's kind of weird that John Ripper is the one that sort of revives Alfred from his depression, kind of like with his I'm gonna hire you as this guy who accompanies me jogging every morning. um Still, it's pretty dangerous to be dancing or sleeping with the devil working for somebody like John Ripper. But gotta give credit where credit's due. John kind of helps Alfred back. Um, if you ask me, did John have something to do with the murder of Esme? Um, you know what? That theory had not crossed my mind. I I know that in episode 5, early on, I guess, Beth sort of saw the people who entered the building that might have killed Esme. Um, but I wouldn't put it past John Ripper, to entertain the idea of doing that, of um killing Esme. I think the question that we got to ask ourselves, the fans of the show, is who who would stand the most benefit? You know, who would gain the most benefit? Who would stand to benefit from Esme's death? Who would stand to benefit from Alfred's life being rocked that way? I know Alfred has a lot of enemies, right? You could probably say, well, maybe it's like your typical what you would expect a villain to do. You know, they would kill those closest to you. They would kill your loved ones to see you suffer. So that could be a theory. Who would take pleasure in Alfred's loss? But I would also ask who would stand to benefit. Like maybe because you know maybe for people like John Ripper or the No Name League, I mean, because they see Alfred as this valuable guy, such a skilled guy. They think that, oh my God, this guy, we need to have him all the time. We need to utilize him, just like Thomas Wayne says, and like we need to use he. Alfred is very useful. Thomas Wayne said in the episode. So we can't lose him. And here he's already like planting seeds about like, oh, I'm gonna start a family, buy a house, get my own business. No, no, no. We gotta cut all that, cut those ties away from him. Cut that connection, cut that cord. You know, and the way to do that is by killing Esme, because that represents, or she represented Alfred's future. Um, So yeah, who would stand to benefit? Now, before I conclude, I also want to say that Thomas Wayne and Martha Kane, their dynamic in this one is pretty hilarious because they don't necessarily like each other. I don't know when we're gonna get to the point where Thomas Wayne and Martha Kane may have feelings for each other. But for these episodes that we've seen so far, they look like they don't want to be in the same zip codes. They look like there's like, okay, Martha's like this. Okay, what's my next job? Just give me this assignment and I'm out of here. I'll do it. And Thomas Wayne is like, hey, all right. I guess Alfred's still depressed. All right, let's hire somebody else. So it's all about the job for him. And and Thomas Wayne being a double agent, that is so hilarious to me. Now he's revealed to be part of CIA too. It's like it Thomas Wayne in the comic books, I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but he was a doctor, right? He was MD. So I don't know, the alteration of Thomas Wayne as this super spy. So he's like the James Bond of the show. It's so funny to me, especially the fact that he's not very smooth too. No offense to the actor who plays him, Ben Aldridge, but yeah, it's like when it's revealed in episode 5, it's like, oh yeah, what if they find out that I'm working for the CIA? It's like, oh no, no, cheese ball, really? Oh man, I think I think this show is giving Thomas Wayne more credit than because Thomas Wayne in the comic books is just a doctor. But now it's like, oh, we're gonna make him this super spy shit. Quite the reimagining, definitely. Um, The other part of the story, the arc in these two episodes, I don't really have much opinion about it. Lord Harwood, was a beggar, and Beth Sykes had that freaking entertaining fight scene with her sister, played by Polly Walker, Peggy Sykes. And then they, long story short, they found Lord Harwood, and they took Lord Harwood in. Lord Harwood has been Lord Harwood now doesn't have a nose. He doesn't have toes. So it's just him trying to get back to his senses again. So I don't really have a lot of opinions about that at this point. About that side of the, it's just to show you, oh, this is where they are right now. Um, Hopefully, in the subsequent episodes, next few weeks to come, Lord Harwood and Bet get explored even further. Maybe Lord Harwood, when he comes to his senses, when he's like, oh, he becomes evil again. Maybe he becomes a mastermind again. But right now, it's just recuperation kind of phase, and so yeah, it is what it is. Um, and lastly, I want to close with the actress who plays Esme. I feel bad when Esme got killed off. I was like, no, I love that actress. Her name is Emma Corrin. She's so cute, man. She has this, I don't know, next door neighbor kind of adorableness to her. Um, she's not what you would describe as hot, wild and sexy, not Baywatch type of girl. No, she's just like cute, adorable. She has that, like Martha Kane says in the episodes, like Esme has a kind face, Emma Corrin has that face like a marrying type kind of woman face. And so I'm gonna miss her on this show. And for a second there, after she got killed off, her character, I was feeling bummed out. I was like, oh no, Emma now is unemployed. It's not, she has to audition to, maybe pilot season, try to find another show to land with. But no, it, I don't need to worry, because Emma, if you look her up, she plays, or she is set to play, young Princess Diana, uh, young Lady Diana, the late great Princess Diana, in The Crown season 4. So we're anticipating The Crown season 3 coming up soon, but The Crown season 4 is after that, in production. So yeah, so Emma landed well. She's not unemployed. She's not, looking for the next gig or the next show. She's gonna play Princess Diana. So I'm glad. I'm happy as a fan. I'm looking forward to her portrayal or performance of the late great Princess Diana. So yeah, that's it. Those are my thoughts about the Pennyworth season 1 episodes 4 and 5. Um, and now I'm heading out to LA to watch this Angel Has Fallen movie. That review will be up on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. And of course, like I said earlier, I will be also giving you a review on Thursday of one of the most highly anticipated new shows this season. I kid you not. And you are going to love it. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends and their grandmas to also subscribe to the channel. Press that like button, ring that bell, and if you can help support me, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. 3 weeks left. 3 weeks left till Toronto International Film Festival. Woo woo, TIFF. So follow me on Twitter too, because I'll be tweeting the shit out of that event every other minute. TIFF, TIFF, TIFF. My first TIFF. It's gonna be awesome. So thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. As always, let's rock this.